Hello, 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 hello. Hopefully today internet is good. We are live after a long time. And I want to say, even though I thought, we'll have a great stream. People will talk, we'll have discussions. Nobody's talking. Nobody's coming to the live stream. Of course, I also did not come live every day as I should have. But what? From now on, we will be live every day. Because I thought this will make me money. It is not. So I'll do it for fun. I'm just kidding. It was just for fun, even from the start. But I do need money. And I hope you guys would help me. Now, I cannot earn money right now because I don't have enough subscribers. But I would like if you guys could, just subscribe and watch my stream, share it with your friends so that it can help me in a long term. Long term. At least it's not going to help me right now, but support is support. So without much further ado, I would say I don't think this is working because internet is extremely poor. Is it working? Is it working? Let me see. Is it working? Not sure. Oh, it's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. Nice, 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 nice. So as I was saying, we'll continue. See, whether I come live or not, the the thirst for knowledge is never quenched. And so we will continue with our exploration. But because I want to be more exclusive about what kind of ideas we discuss, I think we should go a little bit into philosophy today because philosophy is very important. It's because we discuss ideas like this, we are able to understand that why are we doing anything pretty much, right? So let me just share. Yes, I think you guys can see me, and we will start. So what are we doing? What are we doing? We are reading about philosophy. New research in philosophy. Don't mind my spellings. Uh, philosophy latest. Three handy tools for separating pseudoscience from real deal. Okay, the taming of black thought. Black black philosophers now feature on Western curricula, but European tradition diminishes their radicalism into research. Wow. Let's see what is being said. Do you guys want to? Do you guys want to listen to this? Ah, no, we don't have time. We'll just read it, go through. Who gets to decide what counts as philosophy? You might think that, but if philosophers in Western tradition read more Black and Asian philosophers, they would be more inclusive of other intellectual traditions. The first black philosophy professor in Scotland, Tommy Curry, has argued that, on the contrary, the consumption of minority thinkers could create devastating consequences for many fields of world philosophies, including Africana and Asian philosophy. Okay. Curry termed, to explain this point, Curry termed this phenomena epistemic convergence. You know what? I don't know. Is it risky? Recently, we read right that I want to make sure that if you want to read these articles in detail, go to this aeon.co essays, okay? Because I don't know if someone says this is piracy, no, not piracy exactly. This is uh, copyright. I don't want a copyright thing, okay? Not that anybody would care with someone with three subscribers. Anyways, uh, idea itself can be tracked back to WB. This creates intro interrogationalist belief, where the historical works of people of African descent are constantly measured by standards of Western academia, especially in relation to liberal ideology. They are slotted into pre-existing narratives. Their radical challenge to any white supremacist elements of establishment is carefully redacted, revised, and integrated into continuation of what we think of as a proper form of philosophical thought in the history of Western philosophy. Their language, regardless of what that this language itself was, in many cases forced upon them to speak about their lived experience in the process of describing radicalized, and also paraphrased to avoid perceived offense. What they're probably trying to say is that Western philosophy has every philosophy, whoever is thinking about life and all and everything, all of stuff, they think they have figured out things, right? But the issue is that, am I audible? Am I audible? Yes, I think I'm audible. Okay. So what I'm saying is that every school of thought started somewhere, and a lot of people over the centuries have built something on what previously has been said by some of the philosophers. Now the issue becomes that, because a lot of things are built upon some fundamental assumptions in the very starting. If you go to any other philosophies, like from African or Asian or any other place, you might find that some of these fundamental assumptions that we thought, on which our cultures, philosophy are based on, the other someone from Africa or South America, they might have completely different fundamental uh, ideas, right? And their whole philosophies would diverge so much from ours over the time, because their philosophers also built on their fundamental uh, ideas. Now see, human life in a very much manner around the world has been quite similar in certain aspects. So of course there are going to be some common points, but there are genuinely going to be some points where all these things don't matter. All these things don't We don't relate to those things at all. And for someone who is rigid in their learning philosophy, not learning philosophy, the correct word would be someone who is rigid in their and very protective of the school of thought per se. First of all, I think someone is being rigid in philosophy. This is so ironic, because the whole point of philosophy is to think all those perspectives, that the meaning of life, the existence, and to only stick to what you believe, and to close what outcome is, what ideas are coming from the other side, means you have forgotten the exact gist of what philosophy is, right? But see, people have egos. They think them, everyone thinks themselves of that they are someone very superior, right? And especially we have seen the history where whites have always thought that they were the superiors. Now, why I'm saying particularly whites, it's not currently because they are, see, it's history. The people who were dominantly, uh, you know, in making influences in the world history in the last 400 years were predominantly white, right? They're from Europe, from United Kingdom, and they were going across the world in the different continents, right? So yes, they had established a kind of dominance. So of course, they wanted to uh, they wanted to spread their own school of thoughts. But I think philosophy is something that where you cannot force your school of your line of thought on someone, because it's under the assumption that we don't know everything. And if we are trying to teach someone else that uh, this is a subject where you think about things, and you curtail that you only think about things in how I think about things, then you yourself don't know the subject itself, right? So I think that is very important, and that this I think this is what this article is trying to say. I will not go in detail because I would like you guys to go and read, because the whole point is not to give a commentary on what these articles are saying. The whole point is to increase curiosity in you guys, that you go and read those articles and have a discussion with me, right? And that is the most important thing. Let's see what else is there. And I'm sorry, I forgot the camera is there. I have two screens, so I sometimes forget where I'm looking at, but now I look at here. The People's Atheist. How B.F. Skinner suspended our understanding of behavior. Uh, the Republican speechwriter turned Welder's radical gospel of localism. The anguish of choice. In the shattered aftermath of war, Sartre delivered a formative lecture on freedom and meaning. Urgency remains. Illegible benefits. I wish you guys would comment something so I could probably discuss on that. But since no one is commenting anything, I'll decide what to discuss, I guess. Who are fire tamers? No one is self-made. No one is self-made. Okay, this is something crazy. I like the idea. The idea that success is deserved has great traction in the world, but Zhuangzi argues that it is deeply flawed notion. I would like to listen this. Deeply embedded in details of justice and fairness is the idea that we ought to get what we deserve. Deservingness is thus a intuitively compelling concept because we want the world to be intelligible. If the good suffer and the wicked flourish, then the world not only becomes painful place to live in, but also becomes a place of moral chaos. Even if the world is bountiful and just, it remains a necessary illusion that people get what they deserve. We need to believe our actions matter if we are to generate the necessary motivation to pursue the things we want. Of course, see, you have to you have to accept that how I believe is that the world is just meaningless. This is my point of view. I don't believe then there is any meaning to any life. Okay, it is kind of uh, butterfly effect happening everywhere, from what like from where Big Bang happened to how planets were formed, how moons were formed for different planets, and I and you guys end up being born. I don't think there's a meaning to it. It's just we just happen to exist. But it also means that no, it's but I would also not agree with the notion that there is no control at all or no one who deserves it. I think the best thing, what I believe actually happens is that there's a butterfly effect. What you do makes starts a chain of events that lead to something. For example, if you open your Domino's app and you order a pizza, you will get a pizza. You started a you caused an event to start, and cascading events happen. Like you ordered pizza on app, so you got the information got on the screen of a Domino's store. One person read it, gave the information to other. The other person started making my pizza. After the pizza was made, they gave it to the delivery driver, and he brought the pizza to me. Right. So I started an event, and but now why I am not saying that it's completely butterfly effect, because even though it's a butterfly effect, but we are also capable of making the call, making the change. We are also capable of instigating a cause, right? But it's not completely untrue that nobody gets what they like, what we deserve. What we probably get, what we make it happen. Think of it this way: you're trying to maximize your chances of things happening your way. Now, in a purely chaotic and society, anything could happen. I ordered the pizza reaches one of you guys, or the pizza information. I ordered the pizza. This information never reached the Domino's app, store itself, right? We as a human have tried to make society with rules and regulations, not just legal and illegal, but also that what is business, how to do business, rules for doing business, how to barter, how to buy things with money. We created money so that the system exists. So it's not like there is no merit, or there is no, it's not like it's irrelevant to put any effort. What is, we have created a system where things are largely predictable. I know that if I have ordered a pizza, there's highly likely that I will get the pizza. Yes, but it's probable, it's highly probable, but there exists a minute possibility that I might not receive the pizza. It can sometimes happen. There's some glitch in the app, or the, I hope it not doesn't happen, but a delivery driver got in an accident and something happened and this and that, right? So there's so many possibilities, but this system exists to make the society highly probable. So when they say you get what you deserve, I think the better phrasing of reality would be you get what you put, you what you the results you get are because you cause certain amount of, you caused certain events which led to cascading of certain events. Because you made a predictable set of events, the results are mostly predictable. But yes, because nothing is nothing is like what do you say, uh, mm, the correct phrasing would be, since there's no permanent surety that things will happen this way, because in the end it's still a butterfly effect. there's a chance that you might not get things everywhere. Now, uh, some people just happen to get results in which they had not put any effort, and that is surely a, luck thing. What thing we call luck? It's a low probability event happening. For example, someone being born to a billionaire. Now he has not done anything. He or she has not done anything to get those many resources from the start. But that is just, you know, an event that, think of it this way, they were not lucky, it was bound to happen to someone. If a person get rich and he or she uh, have a child, of course they will have some child, right? So it's not like someone is lucky, someone was bound to happen, and randomly that the person who was born to those rich parents, or any other example you can think of. But what I'm trying to say basically is that this it's I have a mixed feeling towards this thing. I'm not reading this in detail because again, I want you guys to read and discuss it with me. You put it in the comments if you are watching this video after it's been uploaded, or if you if you come to the live streaming tomorrow, you can directly talk to me in the comment section and we'll have a proper discussion. Yeah, let's talk about some other topic. The philosophy of hope. The household is a community as much as the state. And ancient philosophy had much more to say about what we think. There can be no sin committed from love, the radical ethics of. I don't agree with the title itself. Of course, it's an opinion, but I don't want to go into that. When art dares their audiences to break cardinal museum rule. What is that? When artworks dare audiences to break cardinal rule, one of the cardinal rules of museum going is that art should be enjoyed from a comfortable distance and never touched. However, in 1960s, a cohort of artists began inviting audiences to interact with and thus alter their works. This included Japanese artist Yoko Ono, whose painting To Be Stepped On was, as the title explicitly states, designed to be trampled. Is it a video? Oh, it's a video.
My son, when he was probably 3 or 4, was asked, like, what is
precious, but not something to be interacted with physically.
Ingrained in us.
when we traditional
See,
way of showing
I do agree with the concept. Like, it's how can someone not agree? But I think some people are still out there that, who would contradict me or say, why are you saying this? But yes, art should not be touched in museums. The reason why, if it feels nice to you, or if any art feels interesting to you, it is because the artist intended it that way. And when you touch it, when you interact with it, when you are not supposed to do that, you change the message, or you interfere, or you make a difference that was not what the original artist intended to. And the art itself sometimes loses the meaning, the loses the essence it was trying to portray, or it had. So please do not go and touch the arts in the museum, but unless they are specifically asked to.
art. So you're also seeing
And especially when I actually am very against when these protesters go into museums and ruin arts. I understand some of the arts are used for financial reasons. They are not actually good. They are not actually appreciated for what they are, but how they can be used as an asset. But still, if there is an art that is, some artists have put their effort in, and if they have put really good work, and the art is really good. See, how I perceive an art is how it is supposed to make you feel. art is everything. Like movies is art, movies is art, an art, singing is an art, right? So if a songs make you feel good, if a movie makes you feel good, the artist intended it to be like that, right? In the same way, if someone has painted something, you may feel that I do not, this art does not makes me feel anything. But someone might feel, oh, it reminds me of something. That is why they say art is subjective. But whether you like the art or not, if mm, if it's valuable to someone, then you should respect that. Maybe not you, but somewhere down the line, 2 3 generations, they might also, they might also like the art. They might also feel something from it, and that is how the culture, that is how the uh, idea of we as a civilization at the time art is made, that is how the essence of our presence is uh, sustained, is how what's the correct word, the essence is preserved. This is how, so art preserves the present moment, right? So yes.
Everyday objects that are
Okay, what is the
Distributed.
I will be sitting.
Part of the reason I got into this field was to try to disrupt that
oh no, that is so
idea.
interesting. I don't know how many people would see this and say it's a good art, but I can certainly feel that someone is, pulling their face off, and this is symbolic in a way that you're not liking the person you have become, and you feel from inside you're not that person. From your outside, you seems to be a person which you do not like yourself, and you're just ripping it off, and just uh, this like the amount of hatred you would have to rip your own face out, and that hatred is what it making me feel, right? And that's what I'm saying, and art makes you feel things, and this is making me feel to that someone is trying to rip their face off because they do not like who they are, or they want to see what's inside this person that I don't like. So yeah, that's very cool.
You know, touch takes time because you want to be able to explore. And sometimes it's just about repeating a gesture and seeing what each repetition tells you.
I went to a museum where they had made 3D printed plastic replicas of many monuments all over India. And first I said, okay, what's so special about this? But then I realized they were textured in each wall. And that's when I realized they were actually for blind people to understand by physical touch how real monuments look like around India. And that is so cool. It's an inclusive thing that people who are unable to watch those beautiful monuments, they can understand their structure and feel just by touching. And I think these kind of arts are very important. Like I think mostly we see so many arts like on the wall which are not meant to touch, but some of these arts should be allowed to be touched by people, like especially blind people or people with visibility issues, so that they can also enjoy the creativity humanity has, right? So again, guys, it's I guess it's 10 o'clock. I'll be leaving by now because, as I said, the time is limited for me. But yes, please, if you think you have some things on your mind that you want to share, please comment in the comment section after the video is uploaded. And if you think no, you want to have a discussion, you want to have a conversation, I'll be live tomorrow 9:30, and from now we will be live, right? Every day. Let's see how it goes. and I want to talk to you guys. I want to have a nice discussions, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, see you later. Let's just okay.